right, let's take a look at some discussion questions here. So the first one, can you have a zero displacement and a non-zero average velocity? So is that possible? So if I have a displacement of zero, what is my definition of average velocity? Well, average velocity is defined as displacement divided by time. So it's automatically going to be zero if your displacement is zero. Is it possible for me to have a zero displacement but a non-zero velocity? So in this case, it starts out with a positive velocity, comes to a stop, then has a negative velocity, and I have a displacement of zero. So when we get to this point here, my displacement is zero, but my velocity is clearly negative. So yes, that is possible to have instantaneous velocity be a value. Number 10 there, can you have a zero acceleration and a non-zero velocity? So yes, I can. So as long as I have a horizontal line, meaning the slope of my velocity versus time graph is zero, I will have a zero acceleration. And in this case, I have a positive velocity. Just so long as I'm not like on the axis where the velocity is zero, I can have that happen. Number 11, can you have a zero velocity and a non-zero average acceleration? Okay, so the average acceleration, say from this point to this point, would be negative, and at a point along there, or you could even go from here to here, at a point along there, the velocity is zero. Is it possible to have a zero velocity and a non-zero acceleration? In this case, yes, at this point the slope is negative, the velocity is zero. This picture here, we start out with a positive velocity, we end with a negative velocity. That's just throwing a ball up in the air and having it come back down. So the velocity starts out big and positive when I throw it. When it reaches the apex, when it reaches that top point there, it comes momentarily for a stop, and then switches directions and falls back toward my hand. And then the last one, number 12 there, an automobile is traveling west. Can it have a velocity toward the west at the same time as having an acceleration toward the east? What that means is, can I have a situation where my velocity and my acceleration are in opposite directions? Yes. What that means is you're slowing down. That is the definition of slowing down. So there's your 4 discussion questions.